Everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 178 for June the 2nd, 2023. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Dave.
Oof.
And on my right, hang on a second. It's the new reigning champion, your one and only, the real Kahuna.
Who's that? Oh my god. Stop it. Don't start with that shit. You'll be getting
It's
kicked.
the veteran gamers.
It's the wire-free real Kahuna here today.
So I suppose, without further ado, we should extend our congratulations to Neil on a couple of, maybe 3 accounts, shouldn't we?
Should we?
Well, Luton Town up into the Premiership. So
we'll
obviously
talk about that in a minute.
Oh, all right. I'm encroaching on his space.
I've just had a notification I can adjust my soundboard volume. I don't know what triggered that off. Don't know if that came through on the recording. Looked like it did.
All right. Neil's champion of the Fantasy Premier League. Well done.
And the cup winner. Oh, and the Sloppy Seconds League. And the Sloppy Seconds Cup.
Oh, did you win the Sloppy Seconds in the
quadruple.
end?
The frickin' big quadruple. And the Family League and the Family Cup.
No.
Is that a sextuple?
Steady on. Oh, now I'm in.
I'm sure that's illegal.
Yes, it's now I get it. The reigning champion here is going to give it the large now. Good. Well done.
Well, you know.
Well done.
It was touch and go.
Yep. All right. Do you want to talk us through it?
What? We're talking FPL, are we? Talking FPL.
Football, mate.
So we're talking the FPL. Right. So I'll start off as we normally do with a little roundup of the fixtures so everyone can see how they didn't win the league. And what happened to make that happen. So, all games kicked off last week on Sunday at 4:30, as I mentioned last week. So we didn't have all that nonsense about games kicking off at multiple different times. So we'll just go from A to whatever the last letter is of the home team that played last week. First letter even. So Arsenal finished the season off in fine style with a 5-0 win at home over Wolves. Obviously a bit late for them, but you know, at least they give their fans something to sing about before they finished. Granit Xhaka scored twice in what could be his last game for Arsenal, but it was Gabriel Jesus that took the 3 bonus points with 1 goal and 1 assist. Aston Villa took the last European place with a 2-1 win at home to Brighton, with Ollie Watkins scoring and taking home the 3 bonus points. Been a bit quiet lately, but there we go. Finished the season off. Just change the glasses. So I did that, Aston Villa. Glasses did this job there. Brentford then did the double over Manchester City, league winners, winning 1-0, with Ethan Pinnock scoring, took the 3 bonus points as well. Chelsea at home managed to draw with Newcastle because they obviously didn't give a shit anymore. Anthony Gordon scored for Newcastle, took the 3 bonus points. Kieran Trippier showed Chelsea how to do it, though, and managed to score. Because Chelsea can't do that themselves. Because obviously Kieran Trippier, being a Newcastle player, scored an own goal.
Enjoy it while it lasts. You've got the last sort of 10 minutes to get the Chelsea kicks in before we.
I'm done. I'm done with
normal.
the Chelsea. I'm done with Chelsea now.
All right, we'll be
Same
back
as
to
Frank
normal
Lampard.
next season,
He's done with Chelsea
thankfully.
as well.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Crystal Palace and Notts Forest played out a 1-1 draw in a pretty meaningless game. Aaron Hughes scored for Palace and he took the 3 bonus points. Taiwo Awoniyi, maybe worth keeping an eye on for next season, scored again. That's 6 in 4 games at the end of the season. Everton won a 1-0 at home to Bournemouth in a tense affair, which secured their Premier League status for next season, and obviously meant 2 other teams didn't keep their Premier League status. Doucouré was the man, scoring the vital goal and took the 3 bonus points. Leeds obviously were relegated and lost 4-1 at home to Spurs. Yes, Spurs. Harry Kane, I don't know if someone mentioned how he always scores on the last game of the season. Scored twice, assisted, and grabbed 3 bonus points. Maybe someone captained him last week, I don't know. What a season he's had, despite playing for Spurs. Leicester did what they could do to try and stay up, beating West Ham 2-1 at home, but it was West Ham's Pablo Fornals who took the 3 bonus points when he scored. Despite losing. Man United beat Fulham 2-1 at Old Trafford. Mitrovic had a penalty saved by David De Gea, and Bruno Fernandes got the 3 bonus points, having scored what turned out to be the winner. And the last game, well, although they all kicked off at the same, alphabetically the last game, Southampton and Liverpool played out an exciting 4-4 draw, with both teams led by 2 goals at different points in the game, and Diogo Jota scored twice to take the 3 bonus points. That was all the games. The top scoring player of the week was Harry Kane. 16 points. Nice. So on the week, our top scorers in our league, the average was 40 points. Gary De Felice, top scorer, 70 points. Ended the season with 2,162. Michael Zodda, who's been propping up the league for a while, second top scorer on the week, 69, which is nice, obviously. Ended it with 1,763 points. And then it was me in third on 68 points, 2,366 total. So the final top 3 of the season ended with, yes, it was me who won the league. Get it. 2,366 with 68 points on the week. Paul Davies, a creditable second place, 2,360, 62 points on the week. So we both had quite good weeks. I think I edged it just with the Harry Kane choice as captain was the big thing for me. And then Fraser Moores coming in third place, 2,287, 31 points. A bit shit on the last week, but anyway.
I'll take third place, dude. I was having a shocker. To be mentioned in that final roundup is something else.
Fair play. You had a good last month or so.
You edged fourth place by 2 points, didn't you?
Yeah,
I'll take
close.
it. I'll take it.
In the cup, Nathan, that we never hear from, not even sure he exists as a real person, scored 58 points, and I scored 68. So I won the cup. So I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everyone who's played. Hope to see you again next season. And if you would all love to join the Discord, there is a footy chat channel in the Discord, which is probably the most active one in that Discord, to be fair, where we all, well, not all of us, but some of us give each other a bit of shit. And, there's a bit of general footy chat. So I know a lot of people who are into games, not necessarily into the football, but we do have a few who are into the football. And most
not
of us
necessarily
now
the games.
are Premier League teams.
Yeah, we're sort of half and half. I think probably got people as well who are into the football but not into the games. So it's a nice mix. Yeah. So special shout out to all the Americans who joined in and did themselves proud this year.
I did mean to mention Lewis was in the Discord a few weeks ago saying how he really wanted to nail 5th place, and he'd actually achieved that, which is a fair play because he was like 8th, I think, for the week before, and he managed to get up to 5th in the last week or two. So fair play for that.
Yeah, he's a force.
Yeah, it was incredibly tight between 8th and 5th, 4th, 3rd. It was I think if anybody had a really strong week, anybody could have edged that 3rd.
I don't know about that.
Don't know about anybody. Anyone from in the top 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. Yeah. So we'll get it going again for next season, of course. I think we'll figure out a way to make sure that people who are in the league are in.
Everyone, if you've been in the league and it gets reset up, you automatically rejoin the league, as far as I know. I'll make sure that if that's an option, I will make sure.
I think you can do that for sure. And then we also want to make sure that we only have people really who are engaged, as it were.
I don't know. I've got obviously all of my immediate nuclear family are in the league. But if anyone else wants to get the kids involved or their wives or whatever, then I'm happy for them to all join in. Obviously, the code will go out on Discord.
I don't dilute the fucking pool with all those people.
Just because you're worried
I'll put my wife in, and
win.
then they don't touch the game for a year.
Well, my wife was involved all the whole time.
Yeah, well then she's
Just
your
because she
wife's
wasn't very good
excellent.
at it doesn't
Yeah,
mean
but I like
anything.
your wife. She's great.
It's better than me.
This is all a ploy to try and get your
Well,
wife to
95%
you
of
on the
teams are better than
podcast.
yours, Dave. But there we go.
Yes.
Anyway,
someone's
watch
gotta
the
be at the
Discord. Well, listen, we'll have updates as we go and get closer. We'll
Yeah, it's
figure it out.
usually like obviously the season kicks off early-ish August, so it's usually like towards the end of July, obviously the things start to come out. But you can do a bit of research in the meantime. Like there's players. Keep an eye on who's moving
Oh
clubs.
yeah, and what credibility do you have to give advice?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like I had a pretty ordinary start to last season, but it was key from Christmas onwards for me. What happened in the league, and then Fraser did exceptionally well in the last month or two.
I'm pretty sure captaining Haaland early on.
Thing is, that might not be the play next year. The thing for me, I think, for me personally, in my team's performance, is my faith in Harry Kane just coming through. Like he's an expensive player, and he is playing in a team that has been quite shit. But he was I can't remember. He was about, I don't know, less than 50. Was it 15 points behind Haaland, who just was smashing in hat tricks and God knows what early on. But towards the end of the season, Harry Kane just like
consistent, right?
He only blanked in about 4 weeks, I think, out of the entire season or something stupid, which is pretty exceptional. He didn't bang in loads of hat tricks or anything like that, but he was just solid, banging in a goal or an assist or whatever, week in, week out, almost every week. And then he kind of went under the radar because he wasn't ever smashing in 2 or 3. But he was a solid scorer, and he was the second highest scorer in the whole comp thing this year. So
yeah, looking at the stats now, chosen by 32% of the player base. Haaland chosen by 78%, but Kane was second on points, only 9 points, ending 9 points behind Haaland.
He got shitloads of bonus points because everyone else in his team was fucking awful. So
yeah,
there we go.
Right.
Would you like to talk about your team's performance before? Like former champion, you got any words as the former champion? Any
No, not really.
words of congratulations? Or...
No, the party's over. No, good fun as usual.
I didn't actually put the league up. I've got a bit carried away with me with my gloating.
You gloat away, sir. You've earned it. No, you've done stellar as well with all the football, keeping it up, so we appreciate it. Worthy winner. And you've done the Seals proud. We've done the double. The 1-2. What have they got? The 1-2. We've done the...
No, we've got a 1-3 in the league according to this.
So... No. But we had the win last year. We've got you winning this year.
I'm saying. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I was just rubbing it in.
With Dave's going to win next year.
Dave's got to step up his game. That's for sure.
Yep. We'll lift him.
I'm sure Fraser will be back with a vengeance next season.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I need to download the app on my phone. I think that's the main thing.
Oh, that's a slippery slope, mate. I can assure you. I look at my screen time report every Monday when it comes through and go, I spent a lot of time looking at fantasy football and things. That's bad, isn't it? There we go.
Okay. Let's move on then to some listener stuff. Friend of the show, Mark, has something here. He says, what is your opinion on paid mods after Valheim creators coming out against the idea of paid mods? I didn't know that was a thing. Valheim creators coming out against paid mods.
I just saw something about mods and didn't read it. It might have appeared in the Discord.
The Valheim, let's just put something straight here. The Valheim creators are probably in a very nice position to fucking not even have to worry about a paycheck for the rest of their lives. I would imagine the Valheim studio is not the largest, and yet they sold
it was like 4 people when it was doing
bucket load of games.
Yeah.
Right? So those guys can talk about not having paid mods because they probably don't need to put, their lights are staying on in the office for the next few decades without any probably concern. At the end of the day, games are a business, right?
It's I think these game companies are happy to create DLC for or content to sell. But if other people are creating content for other people to use on their
It's in a bit of a
software,
weird
they don't like
situation,
it.
though, Valheim specifically, because it's not technically out, is it? It's still in early access.
Yeah.
So would you want people fucking around with mods for a game that's not actually finished? I don't know. It feels like they'd probably not want any mods really out on their game until it's actually done.
Sorry, am I misreading this then? Are they talking about other people's mods?
I
then?
don't know. No, I think they've. I didn't read it, but I think they basically said we don't want anyone else making money off their game. Is the gist. I think.
Yeah, well, okay, fair enough. That I can't argue with. Look, at the end of the day, market forces, right?
Yeah, if people are creating content and the amount of content that people do create for the games that they love, as as mods, to modify the game files, whether it be an extremely small, just ease of access or ease of use of the games, or massive extensions of the game, or
can you fish in Valheim already? I think you can, so they don't need mods.
But like a mod to make fishing easier, or more rewarding, or no, I know, but like a customization of the existing fishing mechanic, for example. If
but in general, if you like, obviously Skyrim is renowned as a game with like fucking I don't know how many mods, almost as many mods as versions of Skyrim that have come.
Yeah, and people do it out of the love of it.
People who've is it about that though? Should you think like if someone wants to chuck you a $5, if it's obligatory, then I think it's a bit iffy. But if you put like
if people are putting years and years
of Ko-Fi link on their mod or whatever and says if you appreciate my work, feel free to chuck me a bone.
And is that a problem? Do. Yeah. But if creators have been doing it for such a long time and people realise that this additional thing that they've been modding is worth money, then why not? If it's not worth people paying for, they wouldn't buy it. I don't really see.
If you've modded an easy mode into fucking Elden Ring, I don't think you should be rewarded. Honestly, that's just cheating.
Yeah, but I mean, if your game is open to mods, that's it. It's broken anyway.
Yeah, but I don't know how it works with mods. Like, is Valheim, for example, open to mods? I don't know. Do they fully endorse it? Because people can just mod a game whether it's open to it or not, surely.
I think it's probably assuming that the game is open to mods. But
yeah, exactly. Well, Mark's saying he's in the chat and he's saying it's not supported by the devs, but there are tons of mods. So
most of these games aren't supporting mods, but mods happen.
In Skyrim's case, they actually included loads of user-generated mods in the anniversary edition of the game that they released and fucking took all the money for themselves. Yeah. That seems a bit dodgy.
I would imagine if you're modding a game that is not officially open to mods, then you're basically hacking it, aren't you? Then you're breaking your terms of service.
Oh yeah, you could probably get sued or whatever.
Well, there are games and stuff that actually like shut down these mods. Call of Duty being the big one. They
put in like hacks, basically.
Well, they actively stop people modding the game.
How can you possibly make that game better by mods?
How can you make Call of Duty better? There's lots of ways.
Right. Fucking uninstall it. That's the best way.
So yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'm not sure whether we've put paid to that.
I can't see a problem with people asking for payment for mods that they create on the thanks Arnie for subscribing. I can't see a problem with people asking to be paid for mods that they've made for games. If people pay for it, then it's up to them. People pay their own money, use their own money. If the developers are saying that they shouldn't be making mods, then just shut it down. Like, just change the game files so that people can't make the mods. Like, do more work your side. I don't, and companies do, and stop people modding it.
Mark is
I don't
sharing
know.
his opinion on the mods thing. He says, mods should be a labour of love. If you want to make money, make a game. There you go.
All right.
It's easy nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, just make
Basically,
it.
it's just
Yeah, it's
fucking
easy. There
tell
you go.
ChatGPT to make a fucking game. It does it for you.
That's it. Okay, thanks, Mark. I don't think we answered that at all. Master Blackthorn. Who is that? Master Blackthorn again? I'm getting confused with the names. Is that Mark?
Yes.
The other Mark.
It's all
Yes.
Marks today, apart from
It's all
Christian,
Marks.
obviously. Because
All right, okay. He says, "What's your game of the year so far?" And tell me why it's Diablo 4. I'm guessing he's been playing Diablo 4.
I've not looked at anything at all Diablo related since I played Diablo Immortal whenever that came out for about an hour or two and went, yes, it looks a bit like Diablo, and never played it again.
Is that on your mobile?
I am totally no, I played it on PC. I'm totally not into Diablo. Never played it.
I've never played it.
I've not been a Diablo player.
So for me,
Right.
obviously, it's not Diablo 4.
My game of the year so far is probably Williams Pinball.
Williams Pinball.
But
Oh, I
or it
forgot
could be
to
Z- or
put
it could
something
be
on
Z- or
my
it could
club
be
what have I played
Zelda.
this week. I'm sure by the
Could
time you
poss-
finished it,
I-
Zelda might beat Williams Pinball.
Yeah, the problem is, well, anyway, we'll come to that. But
It's Zelda for me at the moment.
Well,
oh, is
for
it?
me, it's probably Jedi Survivor so far.
Yeah, what I need. My son, I think, has finished the game now.
What? He smashed
And
it. Has he
he's-
done anything else but play Zelda for the last 2
He's
weeks?
been playing a lot of Zelda.
Apparently, you can
e-
finish Zelda in an hour.
Well, yeah.
Not
I
that
think
much
that,
fun in
yeah.
an hour, though, are you?
But he's still tinkering around, like he was building.
Has
loads
he
of stuff
created
or
a man
whatever.
with a giant penis, or killed any big monsters with a penis-related implement?
I
That's
don't
all I
know
know.
because I'm on lockdown, right? So I try not to look whenever he's playing. I try not to look at the screen. Like occasionally, I've looked over and I've seen he's got massive inventories and he's
Oh, so he has then.
got the encyclopedia and all this sort of stuff going, or whatever it is. Not encyclopedia, whatever, like the bestiary, whatever we want to call it. Yeah. Anyway, he's got like armor that I've never seen before, and so I try not to look over my shoulder too often.
Don't look
when
at the
he's playing.
penis.
But when he finishes up, and then I can get access back to it, then hopefully I can get my teeth really stuck into it. Because
So have you? Oh, okay. We'll get into it.
yeah. Dave. Oh, you said Zelda as well, didn't you? You said Zelda.
Yep.
What did you say? Jedi. Christian says, "Why was 6 afraid of 7?" Because we know 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9.
What was the comments at the bottom of that picture? Was that?
Says, "I feel like I've been waiting for
I
this
didn't.
my
I didn't
entire
get
life."
that bit. I don't know what that was. What was that about?
Because it was a picture of a number 7 eating a number
Oh.
9.
Okay. Is that all it was? Because obviously,
Yeah.
I was looking at the name. Am I missing something? Special Agent Artemis. I was like, am I missing something now? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
There's a picture of a number 7 eating a number 9 for your audio listeners.
Yes. I assume it's on. Is that a Reddit or something? Looks like it might be a Reddit job.
Andy Cox contacted us. Nice to hear from him. He says, "Evening all, hope you're all well. Just wanted to offer my congratulations to Neil for Luton Town winning the We Weren't Good Enough to Go Up Properly Cup last weekend." The league doesn't lie, so it was only fair you went up. A quick question to you all is, will Luton stay up?
No.
Neil.
Maybe. If there's 3 worse teams than Luton, then we'll stay up.
And Luton have got to seriously invest.
I don't know. They won't invest. They won't be signing loads of players. If they do, they'll all be on loan.
Do
There'll be a
they?
load of-
So that, yeah.
Well,
I think
Oh.
this season has shown us that even if you're like a lower team, like
Even if you're
Luton,
really
if you've
shit,
got
you might
some
stay up.
with some cohesion, like a lot of I feel like in the last year or two, loads more teams have had the fucking wheels fall off, right? So there's loads more points up for grabs, I think, than there ever has been for.
Well, Leicester going down, I was very
They've got
surprised.
something like the 6th highest wage bill in the Premier League. Leicester, their squad is getting to get ripped to shreds because they're going down.
They're going to go down and down and down.
They could potentially just go down again because they're going to have no players left.
Yeah.
So they need to have. Unless they did invest a lot of money when they won the league and everything in their club structure, as well as wages for their players. But so if they've got a good youth structure, they might suddenly have a load of great players that's come from nowhere you've never heard of, and at a championship level might be awesome. But for Luton, it's like, I don't know. They're way ahead of schedule. Obviously, the Premier League was a goal. No one, I don't think, really thought we would get there this soon.
How long has this been sort of on the horizon then, do you reckon? But like in terms of like a
forward-looking getting to the Premier League has not really been on the horizon, I don't think, at all. In terms of the way they've obviously had a long-term plan. By X year, we want to be Premier League, and I think we're probably about 5 years ahead of where they really thought we could really be challenging for the Premier League. Obviously based on they wanted the new stadium, and that's probably, once they had the new stadium, is probably when they wanted to push to get Premier League. But we're there and we haven't got the new stadium, and they haven't even started building the new stadium. So
all right, but is it all in?
So it's going to be probably the land's bought and whatever the plans are in. Probably going to be ready for 26, 27, maybe.
How many seats?
It starts at 17,000, has the potential to go up to 25.
Okay, yeah, it's a good old size.
So yeah, we'll see, but they need some smart loan signings / some good free transfers in. Maybe we'll get James Maddison from Leicester. He's got nowhere to go. He could do all right.
Yeah, you're just going to gut Leicester for the players, aren't you?
I don't think James Maddison's coming to Luton by any stretch. But, there's people getting released. There's older players that have got a bit of Premier League nous that might end up getting released by clubs. I could see us signing for a year with an option to sign further. He doesn't play anymore. He's a manager these days.
It's free now, though. I'm sure they'll bring him in if they could.
Mate, I'm not being funny. He was shit anyway. So we're not signing any shit. If we had a couple of players on loan last season that were Premier League clubs, main one would be in Marvellous Nakamba. He's got possibly the best name ever. But he I think would be willing to stay. He come from Aston Villa on loan last year. Hopefully we could get him on a permanent now with an option like anyone we sign permanent is getting a relegation release clause put into their contract, put it that way. So we'll see what happens, but we could probably do over 5 or 6 decent players to add. We've got some decent players, but it's not a massive squad. If we lose, like what happened last year, towards the end of the season, we lost a couple of key players near the playoffs, and otherwise we probably could have done it last year, but we'll see. But yeah.
All right, well, good luck. Andy says, also just wanted to say thanks for all the shows. I occasionally pop into the live feed, but always listen to the latest ones on Saturday. Thanks again, Andy.
Assuming Fraser puts them up on Saturday, obviously.
They are usually well up before Saturday.
Yeah.
That's a pleasure, Andy.
Yep, thanks, Andy. Good to have you around. Another Mark, MS Rangers, says, Evening SEAL team, if you won £100 million on the lottery and your grandparents needed £99 million surgery to save their lives, what will you do?
Well, it depends. I don't know.
There'd be some sort of miracle for my grandparents. Let's put it that way.
They're going to be resurrected first.
Yeah, exactly. There needs to be some sort of fucking mad magic going on. But
yeah. Sure.
I've only
Sure,
got
I'll bung him.
one living grandparent. I've barely seen him any time in my life.
So
I
you're
might have
screwing them
I
off then,
might
are you?
do.
Is that what
No,
you're saying?
I don't really know them. They're just some randos to
They
me.
don't need £99 million. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, £1 million anyway is all right. I could do with
Yeah,
£1 million.
£1 million is pretty good.
I don't need £100 million, that's for sure.
I could
Wouldn't say no, though, would you?
But I don't think I would say no if someone
Think of
said,
all
"Here's
of
a-"
those speakers. You could build a house just out of speakers.
Oh, it would be pinball machines and speakers.
What are the
Mark
insulation
says,
properties of some speakers? Are they good? They good? Could you build houses out of speakers? Would that be good?
build a house out of speakers?
Yeah, would they be waterproof and
Probably not. No.
good insulation? If you just blasted them out like sound constantly, would that be enough outward pressure to keep the heat out, for example?
If I had £100 million, I can tell you right now, I would be hoofing it over into the countryside, buying a big property and converting a barn into like a studio or something with just fucking some killer sound system in it. No ifs or buts. But I would need 100. I would need way more than £1 million to fulfill that fantasy.
Oh, so your grandparents would be getting nothing then? Is that what you're saying?
They ain't getting fuck all.
Is this like you can only fly out to this place in the country? Is that like helicopter in, or like you're completely isolated?
Like
no.
a
Just,
Bond
just
villain
so
style base in the
just so I
countryside.
can play it nice and loud.
Find a like a hollowed out volcano or something to.
Yes. Do they got volcanoes in Canada?
Not sure.
I did see the other day people were complaining about how no one was paying attention to how fucking hot it is in Canada, apparently, at the moment.
It's very hot. In fact, the whole of Canada is on fire.
I was going to say, I think the Canadians,
that's what I read.
The Canadians are.
Yeah, I think it was
looking at how hot it is.
I said to my daughter, "Oh, I think it's cooling down outside." When out it's 32.
Yeah. Saw somewhere it was 38, wasn't it? Or something crazy.
Yeah, it could be.
And it's supposed to be fucking cold in Canada, isn't it?
Well, we do get nice summers, but yeah, looks like the Earth
Not
is
that
warming,
nice.
people. Okay. What? Mark also says, "Why is it called rush hour when it is the slowest time in traffic?"
You'll have to ask the people who create these bullshit terms.
I think they because they think people are rushing around.
Because everybody knows if you're making, everybody knows if you're going to make a movie with Jackie Chan and Chris Rock, if you called it slowest time in traffic, it really wouldn't sound that great.
It would be a very good movie, wouldn't it?
Well, it wasn't that great a movie, to be fair, anyway. But
Oh yeah, she's got Jackie Chan in.
Well, okay, the first one was all right. The rest of them don't bother.
If you have to wait for a waiter, does that make you the waiter?
Wow.
I like that.
We had to wait for our extra garlic mozzarella pizza bread this evening when we went to Pizza Express. Well, we'd all ordered our food, and then when they brought all of our main courses, they said, "Would you like anything else?" And my son said, "Can I have a garlic bread?" And we were like, "We're not going to get that before we finished eating." And lo and behold, we didn't get that before we'd finished eating, so we ate it on the way home.
All right, kids.
I got my beers.
You got your beers. You're all right. Yes, I guess you are the waiter. Anybody else want to comment on that last one before we pack it up?
A waiter's called a waiter because they wait for the table when they serve.
Fucking stop being such a bunch of pricks.
But yes, to mess about with work.
They're always waiting for a tip.
You are waiting for the waiter. Yes.
He says,
I don't wait for a tip
on
my table. I just say we always tip. I'm not one of those people who never fucking tips, unless it's been fucking shocking.
Unless you're in like
Nando's, obviously. You pay up front in Nando's. They fuck themselves there.
A North American country don't tip.
But they just what you have to tip your people because they get paid peanuts.
Do they?
Well,
the elephants.
Yeah.
For North American.
Do elephants eat peanuts?
Of course they do. They fucking eat on top of fucking massive coloured balls. Everybody knows this.
No, in England there is a national minimum.
In England,
wage.
elephants don't eat peanuts.
Mate, they eat peanuts and then they shoot them out of their
assholes.
Noses. They shoot them out of their noses like machine guns. Everybody knows that.
Is this in a fucking cartoon?
It's
I feel like
Elephant
have you
101.
learned everything from the cartoons?
Yes. Okay, let's move on then to what we've been doing.
Coyotes can never kill roadrunners. That's all I know.
I'll start because we're talking about cartoons and things like that. I watched Gremlins and Gremlins 2.
Oh wow! Oh, we talked about Gremlins once on there.
Yeah, probably.
It's a Christmas film. What are you watching it in fucking June?
I can't remember. Maybe the other week I said I watched Gremlins. Maybe I watched it last week. Anyway, I watched Gremlins 2 this week.
Maybe you're watching it going, oh, nice cold.
Yeah, this made me feel chilly.
No, I tell you, I watched Gremlins and I was like, that snow is so fake.
Yes, the whole film is
really-
pretty fake, to be fair.
But to be fair, Gremlins 2, I think Gremlins 2 is a really good movie.
I don't think I got as far as Gremlins 2. I watched Gremlins 1 and went, that's enough. I'm not watching it.
No, Gremlins 2 is a take the piss film of Gremlins 1. Gremlins 1 was a horror film.
No,
Gremlins
it was
2,
not. It was not.
Yes, it was.
Not really a horror film.
No. It's pretty. Is it a PG? Or whatever you call them over there.
No.
It's slipping in. I think it might have been a 15 at the time.
I think Gremlins 1
it's pretty
was
funny,
18
I think.
or 15, and I think Gremlins 2 may have been a
PG.
12A or a PG.
I'll tell you what, I
Gremlins
started
2.
Gremlins up yesterday and it said it was rated 7+. And I'm telling you, right, that is
OG Gremlins?
No, it's Gremlins 2.
That's the changing standards, that is, isn't it? Kids these days, they're used to fucking violence and things getting blended.
Yeah. Gremlins 2 is just a load of nonsense. It's like they came up with all the concepts in Gremlins and then just dialed everything up to 11 in Gremlins 2. And for that, I salute them. It is just bonkers all the way through. And I watched something as well. It came up on YouTube about one of the puppet makers or whatever, and they made something like 300 puppets, for the Gremlins in it. They went to town, and I'd forgotten as well some of the bits. I mean, there's the first. You can not watch the first 40 minutes of that movie if you want, right? The first 40 minutes.
And I watched the first 90 minutes of that movie
of Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2. Watch the last 20 minutes is when it all really starts kicking off, where all the where basically they turn into gremlins, and then they start turning into all the weird different types of gremlins. Yeah. And I completely forgotten about that guy who takes the brain serum and then gets up and starts chatting away.
Yeah, it's got a pipe.
So it definitely got some entertainment value. It's good. It's yeah.
It's just like the Muppets horror movie.
That's right. Yeah, it's really good. And I think the thing is, we just don't see movies like that anymore, right? You're just not going to get a movie with all those sort of.
There's no Captain America in fucking Gremlins, is there?
No. There is a Mogwai impersonating John Rambo, though.
Yeah,
excellent.
There is. Yes.
Excellent. A better time. A simpler time.
And then what else? I had Chipper Spice came and visited, which was very nice. She came for the weekend last weekend, so probably that's why I don't have much filled in here. But we had a very nice visit with her. It was great as usual. Got up to lots of nonsense and just mooched around.
Got to watch any Canadian sports?
No, we didn't do. When she comes.
Oh, the ice has melted now. Come on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
You have to play proper sports now. The fucking so what over there.
Yeah. No, anyway, so it's been a very sort of that was a nice weekend, and I really don't have much else to report. I don't think, not that I can think of.
Cool.
Yeah, who wants to go next?
I
Dave
didn't put
or Neil?
anything in here.
No,
nothing much happened for me last week.
No.
So I've caught up with Sweet Tooth season 1. Basically, the missus and my daughter had watched season 1. They're eagerly awaiting to watch season 2, which is out on Netflix now. But I hadn't seen season 1. It was like, you have to watch season 1 of Sweet Tooth, and then we can all watch it season 2 all together. So yeah, caught up on season 1 of Sweet Tooth.
Are you now not going to watch season 2 with them?
No, I'm going to watch it. It's really good. Considering it was released before COVID, it's a weird post-apocalyptic a virus is released into the general population, which not only kills a lot of people but also creates hybrid humans. It's quite a good story.
That part didn't happen with COVID, did it? Did
No.
it? Or did it?
No, did it? Did you have the antidote? No, it's actually a really good story. And
COVID is a lie.
it's a really good story, and it does touch on people just completely ignoring it, and blaming the vaccine
Oh, excellent.
for a lot of things. This is all pre-COVID,
Bizarre.
and I'm watching it pre-COVID.
Maybe this is where the Chinese got the idea from.
It could be. They watched this and went, aha. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's weird. It was a weird like look back of this was done before COVID, and they actually hit quite a lot of the
It was prescient. Is that what you're saying?
zeitgeist. No. So it was really interesting.
So apart from all the people growing antlers, obviously, it was quite
apart from all
prescient.
the but no, it's a good story anyway. And I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2.
I fell off that after a couple of episodes. I think
Did
I
ya?
watched 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't grab me.
There's 8 episodes in total for season 1. I enjoyed it. It did take a little while to sort of get into it. But I had the missus next to me going, keep watching. So, you know.
With a
there's
gun
that.
to your head, right?
Yeah, keep watching or else. I watched. There's a new. I don't know if anyone sees it. There's a new season called Fubar.
Yep.
Fubar.
I watched the first episode with Chipper and my wife.
I watched the first episode.
What's this on?
This is
Netflix, I think.
This is
I watch
Arnold
Netflix.
Schwarzenegger.
Right. Okay. I might watch this then.
It's not great.
Don't do it.
I'd rather watch this than Sweet Tooth.
No, I would say watch Sweet Tooth first. This is fucking garbage, mate.
It's pretty bad.
If you want to
it
watch
though?
anything, if you're hankering,
I
that
do
you think
like
you might...
bad things though. Sometimes.
Well, you can go check it out. I mean, it is just dog shit, right? There's no... I mean, it's probably fun to somebody of lower intelligence, maybe. You might like it.
Is it fucked up beyond all recognition? That's all I need
Yes.
to know. Okay.
It's like a bad 80s film.
Okay.
Movie, action
I'm in.
film.
I'm in.
Tell me more.
So,
Is it like Gremlins?
But there's no
charm.
hidden context, or there's no like. I think
You don't need to be
point,
intelligent to watch this. Is that what you're saying?
At one point, Arnold
Oh,
Schwarzenegger
God,
says,
no.
"Oh, I love you, daughter, because you don't drink, smoke. You look after." And then next scene, like she's drinking and smoking, and he's like, "Oh no, like you're so bad." And it's like, you've literally like the story is you've put conditional
very
love on
subtle.
the fact that no,
It's not very
there's no
subtle.
subtle. Like, it's just like, oh, and then they play around with like he accidentally sets off a dildo or a vibrator, and it's like a 20 seconds, 30 seconds skit on. Oh no, there's a vibrator.
What's this?
You know, oh, you're only nearly 30. Oh, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, Netflix is doing this, aren't they? There's some
Doing shit TV.
horrendous product placements in it.
Yeah.
You know,
what brand of dildo was it then?
Look here. If you liked Murder Mystery 2, knock yourself out. Go watch Fubar. All right.
Murder Mystery was the Jennifer Aniston, Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that. Oh my God! Don't even. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But if you're hankering for something like, you know,
Murder Mystery 3.
No, do yourself a favor and go watch. Is it The King of Tulsa with Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
That's fucking good.
What's that?
That's
on?
good.
That's on
Paramount, I think.
Is it? Oh, okay. No one's got Paramount though, have they?
Yeah, well, here it was Paramount, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, that was pretty bad. The other film, I've watched a film. I thought I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. I'm not sure if I saw it originally.
I
Film
did.
called Deep Impact.
Yeah,
Is that a porno?
that's not very. It's not very deep.
It's
There was a
semi-deep.
spate of apocalyptic movies
yes,
that came
exactly,
out very close to
exactly.
each other.
I thought this was Armageddon.
It was pretty
With-
close to Armageddon.
It was.
Apart from the
I
whole
think it was-
shooting into space and blowing up a fucking giant asteroid. part.
Yeah.
They just did. They thought, fuck that shit. Let's let the fucking massive asteroid hit the planet and see what happens.
Yeah. It was really good. I think it's like 90.
Is this Morgan Freeman? Deep Impact.
Yes,
Is that Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman. He was a.
See, it's obviously a lot better than fucking Armageddon already. It's got deep Morgan Freeman in it.
What did I say? No, it was actually really good. It was there was some parts in it that was very emotional. Some parts I absolutely disagreed with, because
1998. Is that when it really came out? Please
98.
tell me that's not when it came out, because that's a long, depressingly long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was 98, yeah.
Was it
Holy
really?
shit.
And it was sort of like the doppelganger to Armageddon, yeah.
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 And there
Yeah.
was The Day After Tomorrow. Was that a similar time, or was that
I
somewhat
think
later?
that was quite a bit later.
A
wasn't
little
it?
bit later, 2003.
So there seemed to be like there was a lot of massive natural disaster movies.
Yeah.
Well, Lord's here in the chat says, sorry, he forgot to do the quiz.
No worries. We ain't got time anyway.
So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, or if you think you've watched it but not sure if you've watched Armageddon or Deep Impact, just go and watch Deep Impact. I think it's on Prime.
Right.
And yeah, it's thoroughly enjoyable. 2 hours. Yeah, good.
Oh.
Some good.
How long?
Good,
Oh, mate. Gremlins 2, check this out, is an hour and 4 minutes.
What?
That's barely a
No.
film.
Yeah, right. How can you not get on board that?
That's not a film. That's a fucking episode of a TV show. It's like a pilot for a TV
That's
show.
that's like a lunch break. That's bloody hell. So no, there's you got some good space stuff.
Mark is in the chat saying he was watching an Armageddon series and the season finale was the moon blowing up, but he can't remember the name.
I do want to watch Silo. When
I've only watched the first one. I fell asleep because I was absolutely battered watching the second one. I don't think that's not saying that it was boring. I was just fucking knackered. So I need to crack on with that. It's a few episodes out.
Yeah.
Actually,
No.
Wikipedia says running time is 106 minutes, which is
Oof,
way more than I said.
it's an hour and 46 minutes.
That's another 40 minutes on top of what I said. So yeah,
Well,
I
maybe you
double-check
just
that. I
like-
could be wrong.
Maybe you had the director's cut that you were
Maybe
watching.
it said an
You
hour
went,
and 40,
This
not
is
an
all
hour and
shit.
4.
The director went, fuck this bollocks. Get on with it.
What else? Oh, biggest news of the week, which I found out today. My house move is going through next Friday.
So are you actually going to
Well done.
move on Friday?
No.
Oh,
Not,
okay. So
I'm
you're still
gonna move
around
on
for the
Saturday.
podcast next Friday.
No.
So
I
what
don't know,
are you
actually.
doing?
I might be up to. Ooh. So I'm picking up the keys.
You're moving
Um,
on a Saturday.
Well, I don't want to.
What are you doing?
We have actually we have 2 houses on Friday. We have I have 2 houses on Friday. Call me 2 house Dave. And the sale of this house is going through on the following Friday. It's
Right.
been a journey. Yeah, it nearly all fell through, but it didn't. So I stood in a bank. I waited for a manager in a bank on Wednesday for 3.5 hours.
Oh,
No,
why?
2 different banks actually. One because I was trying to get a loan, a bridging loan.
No, why did you have to wait so
another
long?
Well, the first bank I went through the whole loan process, and then they told me it's not going to happen until next week because the manager was on holiday, and I was like, this needs to happen
That's
today.
kind of not working. Why couldn't you tell me that before I waited here
Yeah,
for all this time?
exactly. Why am I here with you? Like, oh
Yes.
yeah, no, the manager needs to sign this off because of the amount. So get the manager. Oh, they're on holiday. I need
Okay.
this now. Oh no, we can't do that. That was like an hour. So I said, right, I need to go to the other bank, which is half hour away, because fucking no banks are open at the moment. They're selling them all. And then went there and then said, yeah, we'll be with you as soon as possible. So I stood in there, waited around for about an hour and a half, and then like went through the whole loan process again with them. I was like, yeah, okay, we'll do it. So, yeah.
Well, at least you got it sorted. Congratulations.
Oh.
Oh,
So what? You
yeah,
get to move. You've got a whole week to move house. Is that what you
I've
said?
got a whole week to move house.
Oh, mate,
Yeah.
that's
So
like
I
a
am
dream.
saving on. I'm saving on.
You
'cause
don't have
we
to
were gonna
hire a
get
big
moving
removal
company.
van.
Yeah.
You just fucking do it bit by bit.
Yeah. I'm
Just costing you a fuck knows how much in interest on that bridging loan for a week.
Yeah, it's not the cheapest, but it's the only way to say it was the only way to save the purchase and the sale. So
Right.
I did what I need to do. But yeah, no, I'm hiring a van for a couple of days, like Saturday till Tuesday. And then moving over. I think we're actually moving on the Sunday, so that'll be our first night staying there.
Have you booked your broadband?
But on broadband Monday morning they're coming to fit it, so we've got enough time to do a bit of painting, and I know where I want to have it put in, and I'm gonna have a little server rack.
You got a fucking server rack. It's a bit special.
Yeah, a bit of cooling in there.
You going full Ethernet everywhere, are you?
Yeah. I'm getting Giganet internet.
What are you getting? Are you still with the Virgos, or are you getting?
No, Virgin doesn't supply to the area, so it has got like city fiber, so it's got fiber, Giganet internet.
Full fiber.
So I'm going to go full fiber. So they're going to supply an Aero.
That's an Amazon router.
Yeah, which is
/
like
mesh thing.
Yeah, so I've already got like a mesh system already set. So I don't know whether I'm just going to bridge it or set my own up or get new ones. I don't know. It's a bigger house, so I don't know if I need more or just space them out better or not. I don't know. That's some of the fun that I'm going to have from working all that out. So yeah,
Nice.
but it's big news. At one point, I had more money than I've ever seen in my bank account, and then about 10 minutes later,
it's all gone.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for the interest on that amount in my bank
one
account.
Day.
Yeah.
That 1 hour I had like fucking about £2 million.
It was I did take a screenshot of that. It's like I had that much money. No, I don't have that much money anymore. So that was fun. So yeah, and that's it. That's my week of stuff that I've been doing.
All right. Okay. Well, good for you, Dave. I'm glad that that's pushing forward. All right. Let's move on then to games that we've been playing.
Neil.
I've got a couple that they're only really in.
I've played a lot of games for not very long.
All right. Well, let's get going on it then. Who wants to start? Anyone?
I'll talk about the game. Go on. I could talk about my game that I finished.
I've got games from that I cross pollinate with all of you. So why don't we just go in turns from Dave to Neil, and then we'll.
All right. I played some more Zelda.
Neil first.
Oh.
You said from Dave to Neil.
Yeah.
That makes it think Dave think that he's going to go.
Sorry.
Come on, Mr. Fucking Professional. Like, done this loads.
Professional? That implies I'm getting paid.
Obviously,
my $1.25 that I got paid for my year's work last year.
Well, you've had the rest, mate. You've had an extra payment. Oh, hang on. What's going on?
I'm holding it for you for your retirement.
Don't be holding mine. And hold my own.
All right, Dave. Sorry, mate. Go on.
So yeah, I've been playing some more Zelda. I've got past the 3 main challenges, and I've started on the main area now.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, the 3 main. I can't even remember what the 3 main ones were. But
so
picking up the stuff. that you need.
Picking up the stuff, ascend, and
This is excellent commentary. Mike.
attach
Picking up
stuff.
the stuff you need.
Picking up the stuff. So picking up and wanging around the stuff and attach it to things.
Have you built a giant penis?
It's all he cares about.
That's all I keep seeing is giant robots with huge penises that are killing
Well, you need
things.
to change the websites that you're looking at.
It's just Twitter. It's just Twitter. I don't look
Really?
at
You on
websites.
Twitter?
Yeah, you need to change the website.
You're not giving that up?
So no, I have not built any giant vibrating penises yet.
Haven't you whacked a monster around with the chops with a penis?
What, in the
I feel
game?
like that's
No.
like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom 101.
It's my first proper Zelda
Giant
game.
penis building game.
So no, I'm enjoying it. It seemed right from. I didn't play the previous game, whatever it's called.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Didn't play it at all.
Didn't play it at all. No.
Okay,
No,
interesting.
Don't own it. So playing this game feels like a giant MMO playing as a single player game. The way the missions and the area is constructed and the enemies that you're encountering and the layout. Because I played World of Warcraft quite early.
Were you classic World of Warcraft?
Classic World of Warcraft, yeah. It honestly feels like that. It feels like a massive world that's been created with all these different missions and areas and the size of it. I don't think the size kind of compares, but the way the areas are laid out and it really does feel like to me an old school MMO. It's good. It's great. I'm very surprised there's not a multiplayer or an MMO component to it. But
it's
it is
just
a great game.
It's just not what they do, right? I mean,
No,
they have brought out multiplayer Zeldas before, but
right, yeah,
they were
but
never.
No, not with this game. They could, if they actually put the effort in, they could, I think. But it's Zelda, so then I don't think they will. The building, I've not progressed to a huge amount, so I haven't got to a lot of the customization and building giant robots and controlling them. But I can definitely see it's all there, and like all the components are around, and there's lots of different things that dispense all these different types of items. So they are actively encouraging people to go that route, and that's great. Brilliant. If they weren't if I can see they didn't take the easy route on this game. They actually spent a lot of time, a lot of effort trying to make it an open game for people to play how they wanted to play, whether it be in create all these very complex contraptions. And I haven't tried to be. I've not been searching it out, but I've seen quite a lot of very creative things that people have made, and using things that I don't think that even the creators thought they would be able to use in this creation.
I've not played much of Breath of the Wild, but I think people were doing some crazy shit with what you could do, the tools they gave you in that game, which is nothing like the freedom they've given you in this game.
Right. Yeah. So it's I can see myself. It's a game that I don't go out and play to think, I'll I need to get past this bit. It's literally I pick it up and I'll just play this for 5-10 minutes, and I get into it, and a couple of hours later, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not sure what I've got to, but I've completed some storylines and I've explored a bit more of the area, and I've learned a few more things. And every time I do it, it's you do feel like, or I feel like I've got a sense of achievement, or I've progressed my character, Zelda.
Link.
To Link, yeah. Sorry, you're saving Zelda.
Are you though?
I hope so. but there's well, I feel like I've done something in the game, not just played through a level or I've got past this bit. Is that I've learned something. I can now do something different than what I couldn't do before. In an open world setting that I can then go back and tackle the same problems I had before in a different way. So it's I can see myself playing this on and off for years.
Oh God! Don't talk about it for years, will you?
No, but it's. I think it's one of those that I can see myself going back to, even if I do complete it. As what Fraser was saying, that his son go back to it and just do something different and be creative. And I think being creative in this is half of the game itself. So
I'm sure it is. I mean, right now I'm in the point where I'm trying to progress in it, and it's like Breath of the Wild in that. In fact, it's a lot like a lot of the Zelda games, right? They're not small games,
no,
and they require you to have to explore somewhat. I mean, these ones more so than ever, the last two. But I can't. I go, I got half an hour. I'll go down and I'll play some Zelda. Like it's absolutely pointless, right? I think I need at least a couple of hours laid out in front of me. I want some peace and quiet. I just want to just relax and just like lose myself in that world, right? Because you could have something. Right now, I'm in a position where I'm focused on a task, right? I'm focused on. I've got shit to do.
right.
So so I actually could go just jump in and play it because I know I've got stuff to do. But half an hour might not cut it, right? Because it just doesn't in this game. Like you get, like you say, there's so many distractions or whatever. But there will be points where I'm not main focused. I know that I have this thing to do over here, but I'm going to go via this mountain, and God knows what that's going to throw up, right? So you need exploration time. You need the ability to just go and go and have a look. But yeah, for me, like I say, my son's finished it, so now hopefully I can get some decent time. I might even just see if I can
finishing that game in. It's literally less. It's about 2. It's 2 weeks. Is it or 3? It's not very long.
3 weeks. Yeah,
that's
3 weeks.
You must have been pretty.
I think you can. I think you can. I think if you are putting he's put in tons of time, like loads of time, compared to me. And I think if you're focused and you know what you have to do, the thing tells you what you have to do.
Have a couple of weeks off work. That's what you need to do.
Well, yeah, but the paths, the lines are there. Like here is what you need to do. You need to go off and explore this. Here's what you need to do next. What does take time is when you go, well, I'm not going to go over there. I'm going to go just look over here behind this ridge, and the next thing you know, you're on.
I dread to think how long it would take me to finish this game.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. Like, I've trying to remember how many bosses I fought. I think it's only one of the main ones I fought. I can't remember, but it was just like it's really good. Really good. I'm looking forward to all the encounters and stuff. They're so well done. So yeah, good old Zelda.
We'll probably be hearing a bit more about it.
I hope to have a lot more to talk about it next week.
Stop playing the silly hunt game.
Hunt's not the problem. The problem has been I can't get to Zelda. Right? There's loads of times I want to play it and I just can't because I came down and I was like, oh, maybe I'll play it. My son's playing it, so I kicked him off a couple of times and then it just became a little bit. Like, just get him to.
Is he just watching you and judging you while you were playing it?
He finds it very. Well, it's interesting when he's come and sat down with me and watched it. Like he wants to tell me.
For fuck's sake.
He wants to tell me about things. He can't help it. That's still the kid in him. And then he will sort of, he's you can see he wants to tell can I tell you something? Can I tell you? And okay, tell me. And he tells me something, and it gives me a nice little shortcut and probably saves me a bit of time or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. But then he's also been sat next to me and go, oh, I didn't even think about doing that. Right? There's so many ways around. Like we were in one dungeon where it took a while for me to figure out what to do. And then I figured it out, but the execution was difficult, and he saved me time and was just like, here, do this. It was just a little bit of a tweak to what I was doing, and he's probably saved me 10 minutes of worth of fucking around. So that was great. Then he was telling me about how someone else had tackled the puzzle. They did it in a completely different manner, and they'd used the powers that you have to just to bodge it. So I can't. So I think this is great. If you're going to dig deep into it, you're going to find so many things that are going to go, oh, wow, I didn't even think about doing it that way.
Don't neglect the penis option. That's all I'm saying.
Always an option. All right, what else have we got?
I was going to talk about Hunt.
All right, Neil, do you want to do a game?
Right. Okay. I'm going to do a couple because I've just done a couple that are very similar. I'm not going to put the videos up or anything. I just downloaded, went through PS Plus and just downloaded fucking loads of games to my PS5. Most of them PS4 games, because obviously I can't download too many PS5 games because I've only got X amount of space, and they're all.
You've only got 5 terabytes.
Oh, I've got Gran Turismo on there, which is just fucking enormous. So everything else is like got to be quite small. So I downloaded. I'll rattle them off quickly. Alienation.
That's old.
Yep. Dead Nation, which is possibly even older. Thumper, and I downloaded Zen Pinball 2 and Pinball FX 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out everything I have on Zen Pinball 2, apart from one table, is available on Pinball FX 3. So I uninstalled Zen Pinball 2. After playing Plants vs. Zombies table for a bit, I went, yeah, whatever. That's the only table I couldn't get in Pinball FX 3. So I fucked that one. So Alienation, Dead Nation are very similar to the Helldivers game that I played there a few weeks ago. In visually, at least, there are top-down twin stick shooter type games. I think Alienation is better. It's got a bit more to it. Dead Nation is literally like a zombie game where
I think Dead Nation was PS3, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, this is the Apocalypse Edition, which I think was upgraded for PS4. So it probably was a PS3 game originally, but it's fun. Wherever you're running around with using your left stick to walk around and use your right stick to aim, and then R1 or whatever it is to fucking shoot things. Then you can chuck grenades and shit like that. Make cars blow up. So that or you can set car alarms off on cars, so all the zombies run over, and then you can fucking shoot the car to make it explode, and they all fucking go.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good time.
So it's stupid fun, and Alienation is more of that, but the enemies are a bit more intelligent, as in they're not fucking brain dead zombies. They're aliens. Why do all aliens are somewhat insectoid in nature? It seems in movies and video games. I don't know. They're like big fuck off things with multiple legs and spiky legs and all that sort of shit. But yeah, you've got basically the same. It's top down, twin stick shooter. You have an active reload on Alienation, which is not available in Dead Nation. So you click the right stick in, and it starts a reload. If you click it at the right time again, it reloads immediately. Otherwise, you have to wait for it to fucking reload. Or if you do it too early, it fucks up and takes longer to reload.
And does it jam?
Yeah, like in Gears of War, and you can hear it go like trying to reload. But yeah, it's equally just fucking shoot shit. And you go like in Alienation, particularly, Dead Nation is like a very stage based. It will give you a map. You've got to get to the end, and then you get a new map. Get to the end. Alienation, you have a really big map, and you go to it like 3 or 4 times with different objectives to go to complete. Otherwise, they're very similar. But I kind of like that shit when it's just fucking like I'm in between. I finished Jedi Survivor and I didn't really know what to do, and I was just a bit like, That was my big game that I pumped every spare minute I had. I was playing Jedi Survivor, and I was just, like I said, I did like 50 hours or whatever, and I'm a bit like, I'm just plodding around trying to find things to do to occupy my time when I'm playing video games. So I found them two that have been quite a lot of fun. You can multiplayer them. I haven't played co-op or anything like that. I don't think there's friendly fire like there is in that Helldivers. But they're all right. They're all right. They're still old. They're old games, but they're all right still. They look okay. They work. The only thing with Dead Nation is, literally every time I finished a mission so far, and it says, I can't remember what it says, like press R2 or whatever to finish the mission, it crashes. It goes to desktop, but it has saved my progress, which is just weird. I don't know why.
Odd.
That's odd.
But Alienation never had any problems with that. That was fine. Oh, and the pinball stuff was just like, I bought all the fucking Star Wars pinball ages ago on my Vita and PS3. And I still have access to them now on my PS5 on Pinball FX3. And I've got Fishtails. Is that the one you talked about?
Fishtails,
Williams?
Yeah. I think we give you that one anyway. Williams,
That's
yeah.
unlocked. That's unlocked on Pinball FX3 on my PS5, which is a
great
PS4
table.
game. And I didn't really like it, to be honest.
No?
Versus no, because it's just a pinball table.
It's just a pinball. It's like literally one of the best pinball tables ever made.
Yeah, but it's just pinball, isn't it? There's no fancy shit like there is in the Star Wars. Like,
Oh, the fancy shit. Is that
you're
what you want?
like
No.
Boba Fett's flying around across my table in the Star
Nonsense.
Wars ones.
Just nonsense.
But I liked a real pinball, but I couldn't tell you what table I played. We had one at work for a while. Fuck, that's the most I've ever played of pinball. But it's not my thing. But PlayStation pinball is still alright. Pinball FX. It's on the Xbox and all that, PC.
Yeah, I played
And
Pinball
all
FX.
the Williams table and all that shit that you was on about, that's all on there. There's loads of Williams tables on Pinball FX3.
Yeah, all the Williams tables that are on that are on the iPad version. And here's something I fired up the Xbox today and played Fishtails. And I think on the Xbox there's a bit of input lag compared to my iPad. Now that I've played the iPad so much.
If you want to tilt the table, do you literally hoof the iPad?
You can shake the iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's left stick on Pinball FX.
Yeah.
Hoof it, give it a wallop by moving left stick up. Or right or left. But I feel like that. I didn't really play Fishtails for very long. It's fine. And it does feel different. It does feel different to the other pinball games, like the Star Wars ones. They are video game pinball games. Whereas obviously Fishtails is based on a real table and it tells you all the spiel.
I think I played... I can't remember which one it was. I think I played one of the Star Wars games just very briefly and it felt a lot slower. Like the ball's not as fast.
I don't know, because I guess it kind of the ball speed depends on how much of a tilt there is on the table.
I guess so.
I would imagine in a real physical table.
Yes.
So, and it's like, a lot of these things, it's all about learning the timing is the thing, isn't it? Like, obviously, I think I read that the gap between the two bumpers, is it what they're called? The flippers.
Yeah. Flipper
is bigger on Fishtails. It's like a quarter of an inch bigger than most tables or something like that. I was like, well, that's a bit of a fucking stitch up, isn't it? That's a fucking stitch up straight away, and that put me right off.
Well, Fishtails is actually very generous with its.
Do you know what pisses me off about pinball? Is when you're having a really good run, and you you ping it, and it hits something, and shoots off to the side of the table, and just goes down the side, and goes, fuck you, you've just lost the ball. And I'm like, fucking hell, if I lose one down the middle, I don't mind, but if it flings off the side and just goes down the side runner and says, no, that's a fucking lost ball, I'm like,
that's
why is that even there?
Yeah,
that's just a massive fuck you to fucking your game.
Yeah.
Fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, it's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, fuck pinball. But Pinball FX 3, and I couldn't really tell the difference, to be honest, between Zen Pinball 2 and Pinball FX 3. They both look exactly the same on my PS5. But yeah, they're all right if you like pinball.
Yeah, I think they have basically a different front end on it, and
yeah, there was like a tournament mode in Pinball FX 3 or something.
Yeah,
which,
I think, and they're incorporating some different monetization in there. Like they do a pinball pass now, so you can pay like a monthly fee and have access to everything.
Yeah,
I think they do a decent job.
They're good. They're good. If you like, I don't know. Everyone must have fucking access to that shit. Still works on the PS5, even though it's technically probably a PS3 game.
All
I
right.
think anyone else want to go?
Dave.
I can go. I can't remember what I put now. Yeah,
Hunt.
hunt. Yeah, played some really good games with Fraser and friend of the show, Matt. I love Matt.
It was Mark's
It's
before.
all coming up, Matt.
It's all M's.
Matt and Matt Marks.
Matt, Mark, Matt. Yeah. Yeah. It's it's a really hard game. I think we did all right. I think every game we played, did we get wiped once? I can't remember.
I think we played 3 games, and 2 of the games we did well. We got
Yeah.
bounties, and then the 3rd game we got wiped.
Yeah.
So we did all right. We got quite lucky, I think, was with what was available. I can't remember
Yeah.
if we got into many fights. I think we did wipe a team
Yeah. We had
or 2.
we had a good ambush on a
You
team.
you killed some Twitch streamers, did you? Or something the other day?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, it was that. Yeah, that game. It was with the Germans. Yes. Yeah, we camped. Got our ducks. They were banishing there, and then we sat outside and waited for them, and they came to fight us because we were on the exit. And yeah, we put paid to them.
How's your
Yeah.
German?
Not very good, but I went back. Yeah, one of them advertised he was a Twitch streamer, so we went back and you can watch the encounter. It's very good. I mean, my German's not very good, but you know, one of them gets shot, and he's like,
She's a man, dry man here, dry man here.
Yeah, it was good.
Eins here, zwei here, drei here.
I might start actually Twitch streaming some of the games because they're very entertaining. I mean, to be honest, they're massively educational. I think me going into this game as a noob, and a noob with less than a couple of hours play, going into it with the experience of both yourself and Matt, you're talking, you both are talking through the game and how to play and what to look out for and things like that. And yeah, I really need to start streaming some of this stuff because not just the highlights of these skills and stuff, but the whole game from where you start, and depending on where you start and where banishing starts and where the which bosses they're going to be and how to get there and what things you're going to encounter and it's just a massive learning experience and it's great. So yeah.
There's tons to learn. I think that's what I love about it. Is there's so many different things to learn. There's so many things that have an impact on you, have an impact on your environment. The environment has an impact on you. You're constantly trying to read signals across the map.
Yeah.
The whole map at all times is.
Yeah, because you don't know how many people are you against. You don't know how how many teams or how big the teams are, or it could be a small one. It could be like lots of different teams. Teams could be placed together on the initial sort of startup. There might be 1 or 2 teams at the end, or everybody could be starting at different quarters of the map, and like it all comes together, or everyone's fighting at the end. It's very little obvious signals on what you're facing and who you're facing. So you've got to read all the clues in game, both audio, visual, and with the tools that they give you on what you're facing. There's no easy mode on this game.
No, and it's surprisingly they give you very little information at the end. Like if you don't encounter people, they tell you nothing about those people on the map.
Right.
They've only just started putting in damage reports, which is nice.
Which from this type of game that I would have expected as a minimum. Yeah, like what I can see is who's killed who against our team, but nothing else.
Nothing else. You have no idea. There's no
No,
replay system. There's no end of game report. I mean, you can
no,
leave a game after 10 minutes and the game could still be carrying on for another 30 minutes.
right.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have a big update coming, so they've announced there's a new boss coming. So we're getting a massive alligator apparently, which is I think they said it's a roaming boss, or the rumor is it's a roaming boss. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And then I was saying to the guys, I watched. There's some ammo changes. I tried to watch that. I cherry picked some bits and pieces from it, but it was a deep dive by Psycho Ghost into the changes, the ammo stacking,
Is that like an economy
reloads.
type thing, or
it was all based? A lot of it was based around the fact they're tweaking. Say you're running 2 loadouts, both with the same ammo type. You can then make a massive ammo. You can get a nice big pool of ammo. There's making some adjustments to that. Ultimately, it doesn't really affect us. I mean, he's breaking it down to a level that it just has no impact.
Well, he's good at the game.
He's good at the game, and they're talking more about loadouts and meme loadouts and metas. We don't really prescribe to the metas. Although I have a feeling we may. I'm already working actually towards one which I think is going to be a prominent meta, which is the Dum Dum ammos are going to be. They're getting a bit of a buff. So anyway,
well, they're going to do more bleed.
Yeah, they're talking about so they'll bleed, but they'll do heavy bleeding from the start rather than light or medium bleeding, right? So
that means you need to stop the bleeding instantly.
Otherwise right. So now, so my tactic is to run the Springfield Deadeye Compact with Dum Dums, which takes a bit of time to unlock, but I'm focusing on it straight away because it only takes up 2 weapon slots, so you can fill with something else like the bow as a silent option or whatever. There's lots of the Centennial Silenced, I think, is another silent option. But if someone pushes you and you can slam them with that gun, like at medium range, like if they don't address that bleeding straight away within 2 ticks, they're going to be dead. So I think it's a really good solo weapon as a sort of something to protect yourself with. Maybe run a shorty shotgun. Like if they start to get too close,
then you've Terminus hand cannon. And you're Springfield.
Is that a medium?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
With levering.
Oh, you wouldn't want to push the person having who's got those. Yeah, who's got those 2 weapons, right? So, but that's in some respects, and don't take this the wrong way, that's a fucking world away for Dave, right? Yeah. He's got tons more to concentrate on. Like, you've just got basic weapon use at the moment to work your way through. Basic weapon types,
I'm still learning.
Types.
Exactly, yeah. I'm still learning on what scopes and what types of guns that I prefer to use and stuff. I randomly picked up somebody's dual pistols, thinking, oh yeah, I'll play like that. I hated them.
They're really inaccurate.
You have to be at like standing like a couple of feet away to actually
literally
make
like dual distance.
I like running dual pistols when I feel like running dual pistols. When you feel like running around with a pair of Schofield Spitfires, right, and just unleashing hell on people. Right?
Yeah. But I picked them up thinking, oh yeah, I could like try and pop them off from 10 meters or more away. No chance. Yeah. It's more like shoot yourself in the face. Than hit anything like that. So yeah, it's just it's a learning experience. And definitely enjoy playing with you guys.
We've had a lot of fun this week. We've been working pretty hard on finishing up the quest line, which most of us have done. And then today, which was pretty good, I'll give a shout out to Lloyd, who's called us to arms to help him, because Hunt do this thing of shared progression. Lloyd's outstanding. He's got a few outstanding quest lines that he needs to do. So we jumped in and we've been sharing the workload on that, trying to get him through those. Been very successful today, and it's been fun. It's been really sort of nice to do. Everyone's very helpful to each other. If anybody has any requests, most people will quite happily take another gun in if somebody says, "Oh, can you run this gun? Help me level it up?" It's really easy going. It's fun. It's good. And then we had some insane fights today. They're just insane fights that were like we had one game. It came down to the last guy. He wiped us all, and we were furious at the end. Right? We were so disappointed in ourselves, even though we had like 7 hunter kills and tons of XP and whatever. And it was like just an insanely, once it calmed down at the end, we were like, yeah, that was really good. Right? That was a really good, loads of good fights, all wrapped up in one. So, yeah, it delivers. It still delivers. So we'll play some more, hopefully.
Cool.
Some point.
Shall I talk about my last game?
Sure.
I've gone back to playing Wreckfest. Don't know why. It's one of those games that I just like to boot up and play multiplayer and just spin around a couple of maps. And I randomly unlocked an achievement this week, which was win 20 multiplayer online games.
Oh, nice.
Which I thought, oh, okay, that's right. Considering I've been playing this game mainly multiplayer for 190 hours, like 20 wins. Is that all?
Wow.
How many
It's
people in a
hard,
race?
though. It's almost like Mario Kart in the way you can be doing all right, and then something can just totally fucking screw you up.
And somebody driving around opposite direction in a bus just wipes you out. That happens quite often. 24 maximum in a race. It was just funny. It was just like I've been playing it this long and I've only won 20 online because there are ways to cheat, like cheese that you can play. There
like
are dedicated
1 versus
servers.
0.
Yeah, exactly. And you go around the lap once and you win. So there is ways of sorting that out. But like just playing it naturally, it was like, oh, okay, I've only won 20 races. So yeah, it just made me laugh. But yeah, it's really weird. It's one of those games that I'm not really massive into racing games, but because it's like Destruction Derby and it's so stupid, it's like
It's quite hard, though.
Yeah. Like if I finish a race and I'm not and I haven't sort of been completely destroyed, I'm happy. And it's some of the servers it's no reverse rules or they specifically play maps that you can't reverse on. They've got obstacles to stop that happening. Some are just basically figure of 8 and do what you will. And most people play as a bus or something big and heavy, so that they don't
They can
get taken out.
survive, basically.
Yeah,
It's a battle of attrition.
Yeah, and you got to play to the strengths of the server and the people playing on the server. So yeah, it's just interesting. And I just like the challenge. So yeah, and that's it. That's all the games that I've been playing this week.
I quite like that.
All right. All right, Neil.
Don't play much. Right.
I'm just looking at your list is huge. All right, you're on the clock, mate.
Okay, right. Well, like I said, most of them I haven't played for very long. I will talk about the game that I finished briefly. Because I've been playing The Planet of Lana. It's not a very long game, which means I finished it last week.
I started this.
Okay.
It's all right. I'm glad to hear that it's not long. I think I could. I've installed it on this machine that I'm on. No graphics card. It's running fine. So as if I'm banished up to
it doesn't
this room,
get very difficult, I don't think, at any point, which is good for it's more about the journey. You don't want it. If it was really frustratingly hard, I think you'd probably just stop playing it. But it's
there's
a
enough
lot of
to
running
think about
from left to right and then a puzzle.
Yeah,
generally.
Yeah. So I think it's pick up, do a little bit, do a puzzle or two or whatever, put it down, come back, pick it up, and chip away at the however many hours it is.
Yeah, and it's like the in between puzzle bits. There's not a lot going on other than looking at the surroundings going, doesn't it look very nice?
Yeah.
And it
it's
does
nice
look very
aesthetic.
nice.
Yep. I like that
Um,
it's not dark and broody
Yeah,
like
it's not.
inside.
Yeah, exactly. It's not grim and depressing, other than the fact that all of your friends have been kidnapped by some alien race. That's quite depressing, I guess. If you don't need to think about that too much, when you're going, oh, doesn't this look lovely? And all these trees swaying in the breeze really beautifully and all that sort of stuff. Oh, and I've got to climb this rope, have I? Which I can't get to because I've got to get my cat monkey to fucking do it, to cut a bit of rope or whatever to get it to drop. But yeah, it's not mega challenging, but it is pretty chill. It's just pretty chill. It's nice and relaxing, and it doesn't ever get difficult to the point where you're like, fuck this, I'm not going to bother finishing it. And it's not very long. It's not going to be game of the year for me by any means, but I know some people are giving it like 9.5, 10 out of 10 and all that shit, and I'm like, it's all right, but it's not that good. I mean, it's worth playing because it's not very long and it's a nice chilled out experience, but it's not going to fucking blow your socks off, I don't think, or anything like that. Limbo and Inside didn't really blow my socks off. Limbo was too fucking hard. It used to kill you all the time. It doesn't do that. In fact, it's quite hard to actually. It's not that hard to die if you fall too far or something like that. But you have to be, in terms of like the puzzles, or like I've got to run between a certain point before something kills me. None of that shit's too hard. But it's nice. It's nice and cool, and it's a perfect Game Pass game as far as I'm concerned. You don't pay for it. It takes 4 or 5 hours, and you're finished, and it was a nice experience. What more do you need? Other than maybe 5 or 6 more of those a month. I don't know.
So it would have done very well on Xbox Arcade a few years ago.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, for like a £12-15 game, it would have been fucking a big deal, I think. But I think they're charging more than that nowadays. I guess that's just inflation. But yeah, it's nice, and I finished it, which always feels nice to finish a game. You go, yes, that's done, and I don't need to go back to it. I played a bit more Ratchet and Clank, not a lot. I'm not a bigger Ratchet and Clank fan. I'm not going to go on about it loads, so I'm not going to put the video up. But it's good. I don't know. It's impressive. Visually very, very impressive. And the sort of PS5 features that it brings in terms of being able to like travel extremely quickly to a new location, which was the big deal, I think, about this, is very impressive. And who knows? I'll probably play a bit more and see how I go. Another game I downloaded, which is not like Planet of Lana. In fact, I found it quite fucking difficult and potentially infuriating. It's a game called Thumper, which is not new either. This is on PS Plus Extra. And you are I don't know how. Where do we even start with this? It's a bit like, I don't know. You're a beetle, basically, flying down a sci-fi track where you have to press buttons at the right time, otherwise you die.
Yeah, it's a rhythm game, right?
Yeah, sort of. It's a little bit of a rhythm, but it's not like constantly like pressing buttons. No, like when you're playing Guitar Hero, like you're fucking doing something the entire time. It's not like that. It's more like
a Beat
I'm
Saber
waiting, something's going to happen, and I have to press the button at the right time, which means you don't ever get into a rhythm because it's not constant. Right. So it's more of a timing game rather than a rhythm game, because you have to wait for the thing to happen, press a button at the right time. So I don't think rhythm game is really the right, because like you're constant in a rhythm game, you're like, you get into a rhythm because you're doing it all the time. Whereas this, you don't. Well, in the early stage, you certainly don't do that. You're not constantly doing stuff. And as Quaxel says, it's great in VR. I haven't played it in VR. I've only played it on a big TV, and I can imagine in VR it is very impressive because you are fully enveloped in the experience. It's like It's all dark with lots of bright colours swailing around, and you're going down your
To
fucking
remind
tunnel.
you, back in the day.
It's like a fucking trippy video you used to buy on VHS from like Our Price or whatever. But for me, it was too fucking hard. I was just like, because they weren't constantly doing stuff. It was just like I kept fucking missing things. And I was like, oh, that's just dumb here. I've just crashed into a wall too many times on a corner. You literally crash twice and you're dead. And I'm
You know what the first 5 words are on the Wikipedia?
no,
Thumper is a rhythm game.
it's not though.
I'm just saying what okay.
I'm telling you, it's a press the button at the right time game, whatever that's fucking called.
I'll edit the Wikipedia.
A QTE game almost, because if, like I said, you don't ever get the chance so far to get into a rhythm because you're just like zooming down this track, not really doing a great deal, and then a thing appears on the track, you see it coming, and yeah, you have to press it at the right time and get into a rhythm for like 2 beats. Is that a rhythm game if you only have to press it twice?
You're right.
I don't know. But yeah, it does get probably a bit more complicated as you go. But for me, I'm a big, nah, can't be asked. Too hard. Kept dying. I got to the first Omega boss, and I was just like, oh, it's just annoying for me. Maybe I wasn't in the right mood, but whatever. I might go back to it. I probably won't though.
Fair enough. I tried it and didn't like it. I never went back.
Yeah, so it looks very impressive, and like I say, in VR, maybe if I was in VR and it wasn't giving me a massive headache, it might be worth persevering with. But I've got enough other games. The next one I'm going to say about, I've only got 2 left. So I've been playing a little bit of Battlefield.
Okay.
2042. Not loads. Just a little bit. And I've only really been playing a bit of Team Deathmatch in between doing other things. But
Why?
I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to do something different. I was just like, I keep seeing all these updates coming through. It gets loads of updates all the time. There's another big update coming next week. So I had a little blast. And you know what? It works really nice, which it wasn't doing beforehand. I wasn't doing Conquest, so there wasn't loads of
Yeah, it didn't have a
vehicles.
very good launch, did it?
No. It was a bit jank, to say the least. And I was getting people killed. It was good. I was like, oh, I've shot someone. Oh, I've shot another person.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's not like COD, because even in Team Deathmatch, the map's relatively large, and it's like not like too full on like Call of Duty, where you literally like you have to be your fucking eyes on stalks constantly. It's almost like you need to be on some sort of drugs to be good at Call of Duty. So I haven't played any Conquest. I've just been dicking around in Team Deathmatch with. I did have the premium, obviously, so I unlocked loads of premium currency and shit like that. And I was like, when my EA Play Pro finished, I still had 3,100 Battlefield coins in my account. I was like, "Ooh, I can spend some coin now." I haven't spent any yet, so I can unlock all like the Ultimate Shortcut bundle and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, whereas the problems I was having when the last time I played it, where for the first minute or two it would just be like rubber banding like a motherfucker, it actually works now at least. And yeah, it actually feels pretty good. What I haven't played, but I do want to play, is this thing called Hazard Zone, which, if you'll listen to me for a moment, it might sound familiar. You go into a map with your squad of 4, I believe. You have to go and collect some data disks, and then you have to get to an extraction point. And there are AI people in the map, and there are other players in the map. Sounds quite familiar. So it might be worth having a little blast of Hazard Zone. I haven't had a go yet, but it'd be quite nice to play some people who actually can talk to. But I did watch a video. Some guy said he's played loads of solo queue. and it's actually a decent experience because you've got the ping system in Battlefield where you can mark enemies and all that sort of stuff. You don't even have to have voice chat working for it to be a relatively enjoyable experience. So I am going to try Hazard Zone in the next week or two. It's probably largely overlooked, I would say, as a mode in Battlefield. But
Neil's checking out the Hazard Zone.
We like games where you go in and shoot some AI and shoot some other people. Sounds a bit like Hunt Showdown, but instead of killing a boss, you have to go and pick up some data discs. And
Sounds a bit more like. Does it sound like DMZ? Is that what it is as well?
I don't know, but I think
data discs.
That had missions while you were doing it, whereas this largely is just get to the fucking point, kill all the dudes, and pick up some discs. And when you get to the extraction point, expect to see some bad dudes that are trying to kill you. But what I did watch one video was cool. There were some bad dudes extracting on the Osprey type vertical takeoff landing plane thing, and the guy ran around the corner, chucked a grenade into the fucking helicopter and just fucking killed everyone. And I was like, nice. That's awesome. So yeah, it looks like it could be a bit of a crack. And if Battlefield works well, it is generally a pretty fucking cool experience. Like, I know I had a lot of good times playing Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5. And if this is now working like it appears to be, it could, like Battlefield 4, still people were playing Battlefield 4 for fucking years. This has the option to add, there's a portal mode in this where you can just like play Battlefield 3 rules, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, plus Battlefield 4. You can mix, like there's loads of servers in there, like, you know how Battlefield works. You can just go into like a queue and it'll auto match you with stuff, or you can go through a server browser, and in the server browser there's like in portal mode there's like massives of like XP farming modes where you can just go in and just like, oh, there's no other players, you just go and kill all the enemies and everything's at like 1,000 times XP and rank up fucking quick and shit like that, so you can unlock everything really quick. Or there's like you are, say, like a solo 2042 soldier with all your fucking modern tech versus loads of World War One enemy, and they've only got like shitty bolt action rifles, and you can go around with all your fucking modern shit, and they just got like fucking pea shooters at you, and you could like, there's loads of crazy shit in the portal mode. So yeah, I think I'm going to play a bit more, and Elusive Man in the chat has just said he's bought it late last year, and after everything he'd heard about it, he was really surprised how fun it was. When Battlefield works, it really works, and that is true. Once they get their shit together, Battlefield is very good. Even the fucking cops and robbers mode in Hardline.
No.
You got anything else, Race?
I have not got anything else, no.
Right, I have one more game. I don't want to show a video of the last game because it's all about the fucking video. And I've played... I went back and finished a game today that I hadn't played for a while. I just kind of dropped off it. Another PlayStation game. Been playing a lot of PlayStation games. You know what? At one point this week, my wife was watching the TV, and I was like, you know what would be quite good is if I had a fucking handheld device that I could play my PS5 games on while my wife was watching TV. But that seems like a massive waste of money, to be honest. I just waited till she went to bed and then played for the next 2 hours. I played Until Dawn to the finish today. I started playing it again last night, which is like it's like Scream or whatever, teen horror simulator thing. I played a load of it a while back, and for some reason just stopped playing it. Not because it was shit or anything like that. It's just like I just got on with other things. And last night I had the surround sound on, playing Until Dawn Horror. That was pretty fucking cool, I have to say. And then today I finished it. I say finished it. I don't know. Do you really finish it if everyone survives? Not everyone survived in my game. Let's put it that way. There was a point where it's like it plays out. You get to walk around some points, like you're walking around like almost Resident Evil original style. It's like a camera angle will drop, and you'll be like tank controlling it around, going around the environment. Press X to look at something, and it might be what they have these totems where it'll give you like a hint of something that could happen, does happen, could be your death if you could avoid it, blah blah blah. Or there'll be like a clue to the overall story of what's going on in this in this game. And then there's like the next thing you need to do, whether it be open a door, put a bolt across a door, or some fucking stupid shit. And I think I had 3 people survive out of, is there 7 or 8? I can't remember. But whenever anyone of your party dies, I just laugh. It's just like, you fucking knob, why did you do that? It's like, I actually made them do it. There was a point where I had the option, like, you're right, usually you get to a point where it's like, you're in an escape sequence and it's like, go left or go right, and you push left or right, and it was like there'll be like hide or keep running or something like that, or go for the jump or climb this way or whatever. And there was definitely a point in the game where I pressed something and I was like, I shouldn't have done that, and I definitely died immediately afterwards. It was like I literally like I went to keep running. I was like, shit! If I'd have thought about that for about a second longer, I would have hidden. And yeah, I died. But it is cheesy as fuck. But if you like all those old horror films, those slasher type teen horror things are cheesy as fuck. And it's literally like playing one of those out as a game. And I could actually play it again, I think. Like, especially if you're like with someone who likes horror movies and stuff like that. There could be a right good crack. Even if they're not a gamer, but they like horror films and things like that, I think it could be fun. Like if you play through the sort of action sequences and they go, do this, and they tell you what to do in the decision moments and stuff like that. It's very good. And as there's Baron von Glower says in the chat, Dark Pictures anthology games next. I know they're very similar in the way they're structured. I think I might have downloaded one of them already. I've definitely got The Quarry downloaded, which is like the most recent. That's very similar, I think. Is that a Supermassive even Quarry? I think. That's got what's his name? It's got David Arquette in it. He was in Scream, and so it's fully going into that. Like, we know exactly what this is, and we're going to ham it up big style. And yeah, it does all of the fucking stupid tropes brilliantly, and I thought it was really good laugh.
That's good. So, I think I did play this back in the day because it was out on the PlayStation 4 originally.
Yeah. Very good. Very good fun.
With it.
Sounds good. Right, let's wrap this up because I know Fraser wants to bounce.
Got to bounce.
So
is it pinball night again? Is it?
My wife's away again. I got a ton of stuff to do, and it's pinball night too, so I gotta squeeze it all in.
Right.
And I gotta get it edited so Andy Cox has it in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. I will sign us out. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions and get involved, please contact us either on Twitter at Seal Podcast, email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com, or join us on a Discord server. A link is pinned on Twitter. We have YouTube and Twitch channels, which we upload and stream to. Neil, do you want to do a shout out to chat?
It's been quite busy in there tonight. So we've had Elusive Man, Baron von Glower, Quaxel, Mint Safe, literally Lethius. Lord, I'm going to try and work out how to say that. It's Arnie Army, thanks for the sub. And Sumu popped in early to say hello before he went to bed. So how are we going to say this? Diapalgorm? I don't know. But thank you for joining and chatting. Didn't say you're a first time chatter, so I assume you've been here before. Thank you. all who turned up.
Wonderbar. Okay,
Thank you,
sorry to close us down at the end there, but I think we still got a couple of hours in there, which is not too bad.
needs a wee.
I do as well. I bet Dave does
I can
too.
see him twitching.
All right, then, without further ado, thank you very much for joining us. Again, congratulations to Neil on his victories and on Luton Town's victories.
I didn't have much to do with the Luton Town victory, to be fair.
Well, anyway, the FPL was well deserved, mate, and
Yeah.
you did sterling service on all the football stuff.
All right.
Dave, good luck on the house move. Everyone, if whether we see you on Friday or not, we'll work around it. Don't feel any pressure. Neil and I got you covered. And until next time, then, everyone have a great week, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks, guys.
See you soon. Cheers.
Been a pleasure.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.